All right, so this is another devlog. I'm going to be redoing the UI. Before we get into that, Gun Game is a roguelite shooter where you fight through waves of enemies by crafting your guns and collecting unique, game-changing passive abilities. If that interests you, you could stay up to date with the game by signing up for my newsletter at firebelly.com or subscribing to this channel. This screen right here is the passive selection screen. This is where the player is going to be able to choose passives that are permanent for the rest of the run. It's very underwhelming at the moment, so I got help from my UX designer friend to get this screen redone, and that's what we're going to be doing. And you can see that each of the passives is now going to be a card, and this card is going to be animated. I want to implement this sort of banner across the top. I think that's really nice. First, what I'm going to do to implement it is I'm just going to take a look at the color rec. So yeah, so you can see how now I've got like a banner that's sticking outside of this. I'm going to open up my panels here, and I'm going to grab this, which is our card panel. Okay, so that's kind of like our banner here, but then what we can do is do a darker color. And now we've got a nice looking banner that can wrap around the card. So I'm going to call this a banner panel container. And the base type is going to be panel container. So basically snap it like that and snap it like that. Not bad, doesn't look bad at all. We're going to use the font normal bold, be the fuse. Yes, that's much more reasonable. So that is our passive card. Let's take a look at what it looks like in game. Yes, this is going to be a lot more satisfying to click. So let's go to the passive reward selection screen. Just putting the code in place here, and we need to make a method in here, public void set passive definition. Okay, perfect. So that should be set up correctly. Now let's just go ahead and run the game and test it. So when I see the passive reward screen, I should see something very different now. We've got the options of all clear, deft, reload, and berserk. By the way, do you like my giant sniper rifle? Maybe we should use tweens for this, but I'm not exactly sure. Now I can do a nice animation like that, but I'm also gonna move it up from the bottom, just like that. So that's the animation, so let's take another look at it. Well, we need to be able to select the passive, but I also want to do this, which is I want to create a color rectangle, make it black, or should I use purple? I seem to be using like this dark purple everywhere, so I think I'm going to use that. I'm going to use it for dimming. So we've got the dimming, and I'm going to animate this in as well. So animation player modulate, we're going to take that modulate way down. Over 0.2 seconds, we're going to go ahead and just bring that all the way back up. Excellent. Look at that. So we want to give these a little bit of animation now too. We want to give these like a floating feeling. Maybe apply a tween. That looks really good. The only thing is I just need to make it a little bit snappier. So this is looking really good. So now I can hover over it. All right, so now let's get the selection working. I want the card that I select to sort of go into the middle and then slide down, and then the other cards to just sort of fly out of there. So how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to need to select every card that was not the selected one. All right, so for each of those, we're going to create a tween. So we're going to do other card, tween property, and we're going to tween the property of rect position. And maybe we will also give it a little bit of rotation. So let's see if that works. So if I click here, oh yeah, that works well. So that just goes straight to the center. Excellent. And then what we can do is we can say card tween.set parallel, and then we're going to do the modulate in here. I kind of like it just going underneath the screen though, so I'm just going to get rid of the modulate. Perfect. Okay, so now that we've animated all of that with code, still need to do this signal here. So we need to emit the signal passive selected. Okay, so we're going to emit the signal passive selected. Actually, this can actually be emitted when it's selected. All right, I think that pretty much does it. Let's take another look and make sure everything's working great. I'm going to spam the left mouse button to make sure nothing's breaking. So let's see. Clear nearby bullets on dash. All right, and then I get taken to this screen, which is going to be redone as well. And that was a quick devlog of how I do UI work. This video ended up being relatively short compared to the amount of time I spent on this, which was close to 2.5 hours. This took me far longer than I thought it was going to, but I know a lot about UI development now, and so when I go to refactor the next screen, this screen right here, I'm gonna know what to do. More gun game content on the way. Subscribe to see more. Thanks for watching this video. Please consider liking and subscribing. Check out the links in the description to sign up for my email list at firebelly.com, to learn how to build a 2D platformer in the Godot engine, and to support my work by purchasing one of my games on Steam or itch.io. All those links are in the description.